Alright, welcome race fans. Tonight we will be here with the Maximum Speed Racing turning laps at Road America in the Xfinity cars. 40 laps scheduled here for these guys in this event, and I think it's going to be a great event here. We do have a few little infractions here to make sure that the guys are aware of. They only have 13 incident disqualification. That means every time you run off track, that's an incident. If you get into the wall or anything, could wind up with 2 or 4 or whatever. But hopefully we don't see that tonight. I hope everybody can maintain. No shortage on fuel or anything. No quick repairs. So you damage it, you gotta sit on pit road and get it fixed up. Well, thanks for joining us here on MaxSpeedTV. We appreciate it very, very much. And don't forget to subscribe there, folks. We're just a few drivers short of reaching the 1,000 subscribers, and we will be putting on a big event. Right now, it looks like it could be around the 26th of this month. Could be a big event coming up here. We've got to do a little more testing, and then I'll put the notice up on the Facebook page, the MaxSpeedTV Facebook page, which you can go there and like that as well. And details will be coming up on that here soon. So, again, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.
Hey, Rudy, how's it doing?
All right, folks, just a few seconds away from qualifying. Not sure how many guys are going to qualify here tonight. But we'll step away here for just a quick minute and play our national anthem, and we will be right back.
Guys.
And now, the most famous words in motorsports. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Okay, we are back. Are you guys going to be up here, or are you going to be in the broadcast booth, or?
I'm pulled Ed up here for that deal that with Kyle, so I don't know where he's going. I'm gonna stay here and watch unless it's boring and I'll come down.
What, Kyle can't race?
Nope.
Okay. New rule?
It was something about him not being here for several races or something. I don't. That's him and Ed and Tommy's deal.
Okay.
Well, he did 12 races, Rudy, out of 29 races. He's only did 12 races, and I know he's been busy trying to broadcast and do other things. And I told him that's Tommy's hits this year. You know what I mean? Whoever makes a decision on the drivers, man, I'm here to listen, but I'm not going to step on his toes, whatever he made a decision on.
Tommy even here?
Ed.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I screwed up.
What?
Healy got set at Texas because it was during practice.
Yeah, what about
it? Texas was the last race we ran. It was in practice in a pit party. Something happened on the track, and I remember him
Okay, finally some times coming in.
Okay, Rudy.
10-4. Kyle needs to come into the booth with us.
That's fine. It's it. He wants to broadcast with us. That's fine. I don't mind, Kyle. Now, are they still qualified, Rudy? Because I can't see nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle.
Okay, so I can commentate tonight?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'll let you and Ed take care of everything. I'll just run the cameras.
That's fine with me. Yeah, thanks for having me in here, Rudy.
Well, this is doing the same thing that Warship's doing. So I got to set the settings on this game too, I guess, Rudy. So totally messed up. Every time I click on a driver, it's blinking, it's flashing. I wonder how that I would never imagine in a million years a virus gets into your system and it just like wipes all the stuff up that you got set, and I don't know, it's weird how it can do that. So anyways, Kyle, how are you tonight?
I'm great. What about yourself, Ed?
Yeah, pretty good. A little under the weather tonight. I got a wicked headache. I ain't gone away in the past 2 hours now, and and then to get in here to get this game fired out and had all those updates. But that went pretty good. I mean, my download speed's so much better now. It didn't take me 2 hours to download all the updates. It took like 10 minutes and it was done.
Get upgraded internet finally?
Yes, finally.
Took long enough.
It took forever, you mean?
Yeah. Okay, so we got about a minute left in qualifying before the cars start to grid. Like Sean Butler on the pole with a 2-minute 10.4.
It's no surprise here.
So I guess Sean he's just good at everything. I mean, because he does awesome on the ovals, and looks like he's also a road racer too. So I don't know. But when I was turning some laps here at Road America, I mean, it's a really fun track. It's really high paced, really fast. So it's kind of like Watkins Glen, except a lot longer. But what's going to be really interesting is with the new dynamic track model is that there's a lot more grip available on laps 1 and 2. So it's going to be, I think, in my opinion, it's going to be a sprint race for the first 2 laps. So the tires start to fall off, and then it gets like ridiculously loose. But on those first 2 laps, the cars don't even handle like stock cars. They're driving like a prototype car or a GT car or something like that.
Oh, nice. I see we're going to do 40 laps here tonight, Kyle. That ought to be fun.
All right, guys, we're going to run down through the grid here as everybody's lining up. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, Sean Butler taking the pole here with a 2:10. Wow, that's a smoking lap. He was running 2:11s earlier. 2:10.481. So congrats to Sean for the pole. David Howard Jr. will be starting in second. Scott Brinson third. Tyler Stanley in fourth. John Mushton Jr. fifth. Brian Pager sixth. Kevin O'Brien seventh. Timothy Lewis ninth. Brian Phillips 11th. Brian Timbrell 14th. And these guys spread out. Drew Pfaffman 15th. Brian Wortman 16th. Scott Healy 17th. I'm not even sure if all them drivers are even in there. Don't look like it. Don't look like we're going to have a big field here tonight at all.
Yeah, when people generally see stock cars on a road course and they're used to turning left, I don't know. I just think they, kind of a weird feeling for them to turn right instead of left.
Get it?
Thank you, Rudy.
Yeah, I almost forgot. Thanks for reminding me.
You bet, brother. Yeah, car on pit road there, Rudy. We're probably going to wait for these cars to go around and come back out off from pit road. Don't know who it was, but I see somebody sitting there.
Yeah, that new pace car, the new livery on the new on the pace car, looks really cool actually. Haven't seen it yet because I haven't really been racing in the new build.
Oh, it is a nice looking paint job.
Ed, have you done any testing yet with the dynamic tracks on an oval yet?
No, I haven't, Kyle. Actually, I have no wheel. I finally just picked up a wheel, and I'm eventually going to come in here and get it all hooked up and try a couple of tracks. I haven't rolled in a while. I've been playing other things going on.
Oh, what kind of wheel did you get?
It's a G25.
Oh, nice.
That was Brian Pager on pit road. Looks like he missed the start.
Oh, okay, Rudy.
But he's coming off of pit road now.
And I love this track, but not with these cars.
No.
I mean, maybe the Cadillac or something would be fun.
Yeah, this track really isn't stock car oriented because I've done a lot of stuff in the IMSA series and some other leagues, and they run like prototype cars and GT cars here. And you know, it's just a blast because I mean, going through a lot of the turns, like I call it the kink. It's the turn that right before you kind of go on to like into the woods almost. You can take that flat out, but in this car, it's just way too heavy. The tires just have not enough. You just can't go flat out to that turn like you can do in a lot of the other cars, the road design cars. But still,
Yeah,
these cars are really fun to watch here, though.
Oh, definitely, Kyle. There, and I imagine there's going to be a lot of braking here, Kyle. Getting these cars slowed down, getting into the turns, coming up off the turns. It's just going to be wild.
Yeah, for the fixed setup that they're running here, actually, the brake bias is so far, it's higher. So when you and the pace car is like spazzing out my screen, but you can mash the brake and you're not going to lock up the fronts and spin. So I mean, it's going to give them a bit of leeway if they don't really hit their braking point perfectly. So it's going to be really interesting, actually.
Yeah, you're talking about the pace car. It looks like he slammed the wall there. I think he had too much to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, driver's drunk. Got a drunk pace car driver.
Yeah.
Well, I know a track that we see that a lot on is what is that? Is it Bristol? I've seen it actually go so fast, catching up to the field to pass the field that it actually hits a wall.
Okay, Rudy, we're going to get ready to dump this pace car off here.
Here we go, getting
These
all
guys
nice.
under racing conditions.
Yep, getting all stacked up. Green flag is getting ready.
Okay, the pace car dives in the pit road, waiting for that green flag to wave. Green flag's waving, gentlemen. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Here we roll.
Yeah, here we go right here. The 80 to Sean Butler does have that inside line.
Look at David Howard Jr. on the outside, working that outside. Sean Butler on the inside. He's gonna get the roll right through here on turn 1.
I think Ed probably got his motors turned up so loud he can't hear you, Kyle.
Okay. But the Sean Butler already breaking away with about I'd say a 3-car length lead over David Howard. Just shows a lot. This is something that will not happen really at an oval. It's just because people are braking in such different spots and everyone's running so differently because you can't be as consistent as you can be at an oval. So, but Sean Butler just completely just already dominating the first 3 corners and getting a gigantic lead over David Howard.
Oh, he sure does, and he's got the momentum. He knows how to get in these turns. He looks like he's been practicing here, Kyle, probably for a while.
Yeah, he was in the practice session last night, doing a lot of practice. I know that. But Sean, he's just a really talented driver on pretty much anything. You can put him in any car, at any track, and he can just completely beat everybody.
You know, I was talking to Sean there. He said, you get up there and you practice and practice. I think about that too. You practice every track you go to, and practice actually makes perfect. So when you go to a track and you can race the heck out of it, that's just awesome.
Yeah. And this is definitely one of those tracks because you have so many braking zones, so many corners. This is like the perfect test grounds, I think, because we have long straightaways, we have really tight turns, we have sweepers, and pretty much everything. It's anything a road racer could ask for sure, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
Well, guys, real quick, I was going to run through the points here. Sean Butler comes into tonight with a 35-point lead over David Howard Jr. David Howard Jr. actually slipped into second there, passing up Brian Phillips. Brian goes back to third in the points, but those 3 definitely, I believe, with only 4 races left, have pretty much got it sewed up here for the top 3 as our champion.
I think so, Rudy. I mean, it's kind of tough to, some of these guys way back in the points to catch up. I mean, that's a good spread of points right there.
Yeah. Kevin O'Brien now is in 4th place, but he is 227 points back. Timothy Lewis rounds out the top 5. He is 229 points back, just 2 points away from Kevin O'Brien. But Kevin is 172 points out of the lead right now. So I would say it's pretty much locked in that we're going to have the top 3 there: Sean Butler, David Howard Jr., and Brian Phillips. But we got drop weeks to put in yet too, and that could have a major effect.
Oh, it could. Yep, you're right, Rudy.
We won't know until the last race of the season.
Well, it looks like everybody's taking their time and staying on the track.
Yep, that's exactly what you're going to want to do at this racetrack here, because, you know, you just got to basically, if you want to get a good finish here, you're going to want to stay consistent, stay on the track as much as you can. Most importantly, don't spin out. I think the drivers who don't spin or have any other issues, I think they're going to finish all in the top 5.
Oh, definitely, Kyle.
Like Kevin O'Brien and 67 of John Mushkin having a little bit of a battle there. Kevin does have the upper hand on that. But Sean Butler already pulling away. I think I'd say he has about a 20-car lead over the second place driver of David Howard. So I mean, Sean just is riding and pulling away, and
Like almost a 4-second lead, Kyle.
yeah, he's doing a great job for sure. It's just really difficult. I'm going to give him a lot of credit here because it's very difficult to take this car around this track, just because it has so much horsepower. It's so heavy and it has really, really crappy brakes. So it's hard to get the car slowed down, but he is just wheeling the thing around and definitely showing a lot of talent here at Road America.
I want to be honest with you, Kyle. I think there's going to be a lot of shifting here, and every time you come through the turns, you can hear these cars just cranking right down. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you could run an automatic. I mean, it'd probably be difficult to run an automatic. I think it's just a lot of shifting here.
Oh, it is a lot of shifting, and I was talking to Scott Brinson, and he told me that he's using auto blip and the paddle shifters on his wheel. He didn't really tell me why, but just from what I'm assuming, it's just so hard to use the H pad when we're running on a road course. I do it just because of the realism, but I mean, it did take me a while to get used to running an H pattern shifter on a road course because of just all the constant shifting.
I just watched him there running with David Howard Jr. there, Brenton is, and he gave Howard a little bit of room there. He come up on the back of his bumper and gave him the room when he got into that turn there, and looking good.
Yeah, they got a really nice battle going up right now. Ty Stanley right behind them, but there they go around the kink, and they're racing through the woods into the hard right-hander. So I don't know. I just think Scott's just gonna ride behind him and wait for David to make a mistake, or eventually wait till the end and try and get around him.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, good about Brent. You got a little loose there, but I got it straightened out.
At this track, these drivers, they're shifting, I'd say upwards of 35 shifts per lap. So I mean, it really does take a lot to drive on a road course in a stock car.
Oh, definitely not, Kyle. And here's another question of the race tonight, Kyle. What do you think they're gonna pit and get new tires? What do you think the window is for that?
From my testing, it's around, I'd say 15 to 18 laps, somewhere in there, and just you will definitely want to take tires because you will save. You might think you might save time not taking tires, but trust me, for the second you'll save her, so it's going to be terrible handling with old tires. So your best bet would be to come in, fill her up with fuel, and try and keep it together and get the fresh tires, and because then you'll be super fast for 2 laps, and then you'll start to slow down, but you still won't nearly be as slow as you would be if you kept tires on for 2 runs.
Okay. Well, like I said, I think the only thing that's going to burn the heck out of the tires is this, locking the brakes up and getting in these turns and getting back off the turns. So, and that's the only thing. And you do actually, you can slip up a little bit getting out of the turns because you're not very careful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just the tires are working so hard because they're carrying so much weight. I mean, it's just they're working really hard for sure, just because, and they're really small tires compared to other cars, or thinner tires to say. So there's not as much grip available, so it just wears the heck out of the tires.
Timothy Lewis got in front of Brian Timbrow. Okay. Didn't show it on. Didn't register until he crossed the finish line, but he did pass him for that position. Oh, Timothy Lewis gets a little wide there. Hits the no man's land there in a little sand.
And I'm looking at the rear bumper of the 19 of Brian Wertman, and he has some damage on the rear end. Looks like he may have had some contact with another car earlier on.
Oh yeah, he backed it up into the wall.
Sean Butler just keeps on chipping away at that lead. He has a ginormous lead over David Howard, about 6 seconds. So he is just cruising and having a good time and just letting everyone else battle behind him.
Sean Butler.
Yeah, I don't know. Sean's just too fast.
So show Sean Butler first. We got David Howard Jr. running in second. Scott Brunson running in third. Top three drivers right there. We got Tyler Stanley running in the fourth spot. Timothy Lewin running up the top five there, Kyle.
Brinson and Howard Jr., they are both still very, very close. On the broadcast, it may look like they have 3 car lengths apart, but in road racing, this is actually very close. Just because you got to be a lot more consistent in road racing, unlike oval racing. I'm not like shouting out to the oval racers and saying road racing's harder, but you just got to be a lot more consistent. But the gap that they have right now, this is actually a very competitive gap that they have.
Oh, definitely.
Brinson slides it off the track. That cost him a lot of time on the track, and Tyler Stanley's going to close up on him now.
Yeah, just the only thing you gotta be really careful coming up off these turns. You know, those tires are already used up already, guys. It's just like I said, once you get in these turns, you're hitting those brakes real hard, getting off the turns. It's you know, believe it or not, it drags these tires across these turns.
Yeah, just the tires are right now, they're a shot, but let's see, they're on lap number 6 right now, so they have about 10 to 11 more laps left, so they gotta cope with this issue, and so they can end up getting back and get those fresh tires and fuel, and then the cars will handle a lot better. And the same thing will go towards the end of the race when they're coming in for their final pit stop. It's going to be like that too, and then in the end I think they're going to have about 10 laps, so they're going to need to estimate their fuel right for that.
Yeah, you know, we always talked about, you know, going left to right, right to left, and what does that, you know, it plays a role on these tires. Friggin' tires don't even know what way they want to go, you know what I mean? So now you're really heating both sides of that car up.
Yep. Yeah, I just think part of it is that the tires are just so used to turning left, and they see right, they're like, whoa, wait, what? Is this right? So
guys, Kevin O'Brien, boy, he's on a roll here. He picked off Brian Timbrell and Timothy Lewis and goes into the
right.
top 5. So Kevin O'Brien reeling them in.
Yeah, Kevin, I know he's an Australian, so I think he has that road racing blood because there's so many huge events from Australia that are road racing, just like the Bathurst 12 hour and the Bathurst 1000. So I think he has some of the road racer blood, so that's why I think he's doing so well.
Boy, it looks like he backed it up into a fence or he got into something because that back of that car is all tore up.
I think some of these cars that have damage might have been done on the pace lap of the, when they were all going around there pacing at the start of the race. I think. I don't
Rudy.
know.
Yep.
I mean, it's highly possible. Drew Pfaffman goes a lap down. First car a lap down. Looks like he's got some right front corner damage on his car. So he's been into something or someone.
David Howard did gain about 6 or 7 tenths off of Sean Butler, but Sean still has a very big, comfortable lead. So I mean, I don't think he has really anything to sweat about. I mean, he's just relaxing out there, just cruising, having a great time here at Road America.
Boy, I tell you, these top drivers up here and towards front, boy, they make it look like it's easy, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah, for sure. It really does take a lot of skill to take, a stock car around a road course. That even applies for every track. They make it look so easy. A lot of people think it's just foot to the floor, turning left every couple seconds, but it's really more than that. It does take a lot of practice, a lot of skill, a lot of mental strength, to drive. Even in a simulator like this, it takes a lot of it out of you, and I mean, you gotta stay on your game the whole time.
Oh, definitely. I think me and Rudy were on this track, but on I think it was Setta Corsa, or was it the project car, Rudy? I don't remember, but we had a ball on this track.
Was it this one?
Yes, Road America.
Okay.
Yep. Tell you, we were booking it.
Ryan Wortman on pit road.
I think Brian Wortman is probably getting his fuel because these cars will need to short pit they need to make a full pit but only fill up so much gas. So I think that's what Brian's doing, is taking this from a strategy point. After all, he is on a race team, so I think if he knows strategy, he probably knows a lot more than everybody else.
Oh, definitely Kyle there for sure. Yep, he's off pit road there. I didn't get a catch on. Did you get a catch on what he was taking, Rudy, or did he get all 4 or just 2?
I didn't see, but he was on pit road for quite some time. So
Probably got all four sets of rubber there for sure.
He might have been trying to get a little damage fixed up too. The car might not feel just right with all that rear end damage. Only went out there driving a Camry today.
No, Kevin O'Brien's in a Camry as well.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. You are correct. Very good, Kyle. Very observant.
Yeah, my eyes are about a couple decades younger than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like about 4 decades.
4 decades, baby. Yeah. He's got those kind of eyes that you can see right through the bottom. No worries at all.
Almost 5 decades.
Yeah. He'd be a grandfather there, Kyle.
Yeah, my
Great maybe a great grandfather.
Oh, God, I hope not. My granddaughter's turning 15.
Oh, right.
Well,
she's about Kyle's age, right?
Yeah, you stay away from her, Kyle. Don't make me come to your house. David Howard is cutting that lead down on Sean Butler. He's down to 7.8 seconds, so he's catching a tenth here and there. But is Sean battling with lap traffic? That's the thing I was kind of watching.
My guess would be for the first, I'd say 5 or so laps, Dave was taking it easy trying to save tires. Now that he knows he only has about 7 or so laps left in this run, he's going to use everything those tires have so he could get, a lot of extra stuff out of it. So, he can get behind Sean Butler, maybe even compete with him. So, David, he might be playing some strategy, or it's just because Sean's starting to lose it a little bit.
I've been watching Sean. He looks like he looks like he's slowing down a little bit. Maybe he's just saving his tires like Sean likes to do, is save his equipment. So maybe that's what he's doing, guys.
I'm just going to run through the field here real quick, guys. Sean Butler started on the pole and has led all 8 laps so far. David Howard Jr. started second, running second. Scott Brinson started third, running third. Tyler Stanley started fourth, running fourth. Kevin O'Brien started seventh, up to fifth. Timothy Lewis started ninth, running in sixth. Brian Timbrell started 14th, running in seventh. So Brian having a good day here. John Mushton Jr. started fifth, running in eighth. Brian Pager started 6th, running in 9th. Brian Phillips started 11th, running in 10th. Brian Wertman started 16th, running in 11th. And Drew Pfaffman, last one out there, started 15th and running in 12th.
Oh, Wortman into the sand dunes. Got it up out of there.
Yeah, sand trap isn't something these drivers are really used to because they're either used to the apron, then a wall, or just a wall on the outside. So it's different for them. Definitely a lot different than oval racing for sure.
Oh, definitely. Ooh, Brian Warman got a little loose there, but he straightened it out.
Yep, doing a little bit of Tokyo drifting through the kink there and
Yeah, he was.
sailing on right by. Actually, as I'm looking at Brian's car, that looks like a replica of the car that he's a team for.
Yes.
The 19 car at Jeff Green in real life.
Yeah,
Seems cool to see a... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just think we know a guy that's a crew chief for that car, Brian Wertman. That's pretty awesome in real life.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to meet that crew chief at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, that's
Did you get to meet him, Kyle?
Yeah, he got me garage passes. I saw him in the garage. I was like, "Are you Brian?" He was like, "Yeah, that's me." And I was like, "Hi, I'm Kyle. Thanks for the pit passes."
Yeah, he's just awesome.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
I'd like to see Brian do this for real life, drive a real car. I mean, I don't know if that's his dream or just being a pit guy or a cruise chief. I'd like to see him get behind a real race car one of these days.
Yeah, with his knowledge and just his talent and sim, I think he'd be pretty dang good.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I know a few years back they did something at Road Atlanta with Gregor Hutu, who is like the fastest iRacer in the world, and he was running in the Star Mazda there at Road Atlanta, and he was 4 seconds off of guys that do it all the time.
Yeah, I remember watching that video on that, Kyle. That was pretty awesome.
Who was it?
Yeah, it's just true. Gregor Hutu.
Yeah.
Okay. Greater Hutu.
Yeah, it's just really amazing how well iRacing can, replicate the real life conditions. People can come out here and come out to a real life track and just drive cars real life just from everything they learned in sim.
That's where most of your your NASCAR drivers go is to iRacing, and they practice on some of these tracks. And before they race, that during that week, they come over here and practice, in the simulator, and then that's where they get the knowledge and what you have to do and stuff like that. So it makes their race better for them.
Yeah, and there's some stuff on Dale Earnhardt Jr. how he used to do iRacing, and he did it when he went to Virginia for testing, and he said it normally takes him about an hour to get up to speed, but with iRacing, he was up to speed within a few laps. So this goes to
Right.
show you that this is just so realistic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, it's good to see John Mushton Jr. back out there with us. Missed
Oh,
him.
definitely, Rudy.
He's, races when he can, and that's cool. Well, I don't see where we've had a whole lot of people been off the track that much. Nobody's been disqualified yet.
I know it's just for this race, especially on road course, it's all about staying on track, and I think that's what all these drivers' main priority is, not to be fast, just to stay on the track, because then they can be very competitive just from staying on the track and letting other people make mistakes. Sean Butler looks like he has almost an 11-second lead over David Howard. He is just definitely the class of the field tonight.
The class of the field is right, Kyle.
No, he's the professor of the field. And coming up on lap traffic right now is the 11 car of Drew Pfaffman. Looks like Kevin O'Brien is starting to reel in Timothy Lewis, and they're going to work a little bit, and they're going to see, well, they're going to have a little bit of a battle here, so wonder how that's going to shake out. These two are probably the most closest cars on the field right now.
Yeah, I've been watching these cats, Kyle, and I just don't know if he's going to catch them or not. Timothy's pretty good here.
Well,
Oh, look at that. The 84
Kevin,
comes
yeah.
around.
Kevin was ahead of Timothy here just a few short laps ago, but Timothy got back around Kevin and retook that position.
I think his tires are, worn, I think they're, Rudy.
Yeah, the tires, it's just really hard to explain how they work once they're worn out on a road course. It's weird because on the first two laps you have so much grip, it handles like a GT car, then all of a sudden you have this ginormous fall off, and the car's super tight, but it's also super loose, if that makes any sense, because you just get so much wheel spin off the turn, and I mean, it's really hard to control when they're about, 10 to 15 laps in the run. This is like the worst part, probably, in this race tonight.
Well, we'll see if Kevin come back up through the field and catch Timothy again. Oh, gets a little loose here again.
John Butler getting around Brian Phillips, I believe that was, in the 39.
Yep,
And he just rolling 13 seconds ahead of David. He just has a giant cushion. So if he makes any mistakes, I don't think he's going to have that big of a problem.
No, definitely not.
Guys are awful quiet.
Quiet race, Rudy.
Yeah, not really a whole lot to talk about on a road course, you know, versus an oval where there's a possibility of somebody getting off track or wrecking or hitting the wall. These, you know, this is a whole lot different racing here than oval racing. So
Yeah, and just, you know, taking these cars on the track, it's generally, I don't want to really get hate from any of the stock car fans out here watching the broadcast, but it's really hard to, you know, be competitive with stock cars, you know, versus let's like a GT car or, you know, a prototype car, because those cars are designed for road racing and they race very, very close. Unlike these cars, they're all spread out because everyone doesn't have the same skill set as they do on oval, so it's very different, for sure, very different type of racing.
Oh, Brian's in the grass, off the track. Oh, is he saving it? Oh, boy, he's really loose now.
And Sean Butler should be coming down pit lane in just a few short laps now. I think he'll be coming. My guess is lap 16 he's going to come down and get some fuel and tires. And
we got Scott
you know,
Brinson and Tyler Stanley on pit road.
yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the next pit stops play in, because either way they're going to need to stop for about 10 laps of fuel. I'm just wondering to when they will stop and pit and get that new fuel so they can make it to the end. So that's definitely going to be something very interesting to watch. I gotta step away from the mic, gentlemen. I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay, Kyle. So Brenton's like 31.079 seconds behind our leader, Rudy. David Howard jumped down now to 14.18 behind our leader, running that second spot.
Well, Scott hasn't crossed the finish line yet. He's actually a minute behind our leader. But he's closing that gap up now with them new tires.
Okay.
He's a lot faster than Sean. You'll see it here in a minute when he crosses the start-finish line. He's a lot faster than Sean right now. Sean has
I don't see Timothy Lewis on my relative. I don't know what happened to him. They showed me a white screen.
Yeah, I don't know. Whether he left or no.
I don't know what's going on there.
He didn't leave.
Just don't see him unless he's invisible.
Unless he blinked out. Yeah, he could have had internet, could have dropped him or something there.
Could be. Well, lap 15, Sean Butler's still turning some laps here, so we'll see what's, like Kyle said, maybe lap 16 he'll pit. Maybe he'll just stretch it out for 20 laps here, Rudy. If we won 40, maybe he can get 20 out of that.
Kevin O'Brien spins it around again. He's going to have to be careful. You don't want to reach that 13 incident limit. We've seen him off the track quite a few times. Brian Timber, what can you say? Brian coming to pit road now. What can you say about that guy, man? I'll tell you, he has really stepped up his racing. He showed his strength here at the road course. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely, Rudy. Looks like he's taking all four, Rudy, filling up full of Sunoco fuel there and getting that back out on the track.
Yes, sir.
And he's on his way.
Sean Butler, when I was away, I don't think he went in and came in for pit road, but
No.
he should be coming in. This lap would be my guess because he's probably about out of fuel right now.
I'm sure if he comes in, we're probably going to see David Howard Jr. come in as well. I was really kind of expecting David Howard Jr.'s mom to be in chat tonight, but I haven't seen her yet.
Hope everything's all right.
Yeah. Still no word on Timothy Lewis?
No.
He's still in.
84 is gonna be pitting this lap, Rudy. Kevin O'Brien's pitting this lap.
I don't see Tim and. Oh, Timothy, he disconnected from TeamSpeak.
Yep, he's all gone.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess so. Huh.
Now, Rudy, if you had to, this question is for Ed too, but if you guys were to choose from the 3 road courses that the Xfinity goes to in real life, what would you think would be your favorite? Road America, Mid-Ohio, or Watkins Glen for these cars?
I think Watkins Glen would be a better choice for these cars, but Road America, I'll tell you what, I like Road America. It's a driver's track, a lot more, I think, than Watkins Glen.
I definitely would pick Road America. I always like Watkins Glen, but this should be my track right here, Kyle.
Yeah, with me, since I live only a few hours away from Watkins Glen, I'm going to have to say Watkins Glen. But, the racing tends to be closer. That's just because there's less turns. It's more of a... I'd say it's closer to an oval than it is really a road course. Even though because there's right turns, it runs clockwise instead of counterclockwise like an oval would. It's still just really fast-paced, and, the draft kind of plays an effect in there. And just a lot of the turns are sweepers, so, it's a lot quicker and generally a lot more closer together.
Right, definitely. Well, I'm a lap 17, and Sean Butler's still no near to pitting yet, I guess.
Yeah, he's coming up on John Mushton Jr., 6th place, to put him a lap down. Sean's still turning some pretty good laps out there.
Yeah, he sure is, Rudy. And he's going to let him have it. He's gonna get.
Next, he'll reel in Kevin O'Brien and get by Kevin, put him a lap down. But I'm sure when Sean pits, that's going to let them guys get back on the lead lap. But yet they've got to. They have been on pit road. I take that back. John Mushton Jr. has not been on pit road yet.
No, he sure hasn't.
We've got quite a few guys that have left to race there, guys. Timothy Lewis, Drew Pfaffman, and Brian Wortman.
Oh, wow.
So,
I guess Sean's going to either take the pit now or he's going to need to get a tow, because if he doesn't enter the pit lane, he's going to be out of gas to get around. I think he only has a few miles left in that gas tank, but definitely not the 4 he's going to need to get around here if he misses the pit lane entrance.
88's pitting this time, guys.
all right.
Goes pulling up into pit lane. Definitely a weird pit lane because you got to veer off to the right then up the hill. You want to be able in that yellow cones where you need to be at the pit speed. They do come up fast, so you got to get on the brakes as you're going up the hill.
Well, guys, Scott Brinson did get by David Howard Jr. goes into 2nd. Well, I did not see what happened there, but Scott Brinson in 2nd now. David Howard Jr. back in 3rd. We've yet to see. Okay, David pitted.
David already pitted, yeah,
Yep.
sure, he did.
And now Sean comes to his pit stall. See what he does. like a 4-tire change, I'm sure.
Yeah, at this track, you're going to want to take 4 tires. Unlike an oval where you take right sides, it's a lot different because you just can't take one side of the tire because it will just make it turn really good one way, but really terribly the other way. So if you're going to take 2 tires, you're either going to want to take 2 fronts or 2 rears. If you put on 2 fronts, it will make the car a lot tighter. If you put on brand new rears, it will make it a bit looser. Or you can just change them all 4s, and that will make everything better.
Well, Brinson's closed that gap up a little bit now, down to 15.5 behind Butler.
But remember, anything can happen because they still have one more pit stop left.
Tyler Stanley still in 4th, Kevin O'Brien 5th. Brian Timbrell 6th, John Mushton Jr. 7th, Brian Pager 8th, and Brian Phillips 9th place, last one on the track.
John Butler is already looking a lot quicker with those brand new set of Goodyear tires. He is like just even not even looking at his times, just looking how he's taking the turns. It looks like those fresh tires are definitely helping. He's going a lot quicker for sure.
David Howard Jr. was off the track there just for a quick minute. Brian Pager closing up on John Mushton Jr., and that is for position, folks. Mushton pulls over, lets Brian Pager go.
Must be a little faster right now, Rudy. I'm really impressed with the driving that Scott Brinson's doing here, man. I'll tell you what, he is doing phenomenal here. 2nd place, turning up the heat here late running. Yes, he is, Rudy.
I can't say late yet. They're coming up on the halfway mark. That was weird. Camera wigged out on me there for just a second. David Howard closing that gap. About 2.3 seconds behind Scott Brinson now. And Tyler Stanley not far behind him. Brian Pager does go a lap down. The next one to go a lap down will be Brian Timbrell.
Well, Sean's got to get there first, Rudy.
Oh, I'm just saying, I know he's a long ways off of that. He's about a whole minute behind Brian
Yeah.
Kimbrell, so yeah, he's got a ways to go. Well, I guess not a minute, but a few seconds. 15,
Yeah, a few
20
seconds.
seconds. All right, we are. When Sean Butler crosses the line here, we're going to have 20 to go, guys.
It's like the 67 John Mushton might be pitting this lap, Rudy.
All right, we're right on him.
Now, if anyone's going to be hitting early so they can make it to the end, they will be pitting somewhere in my estimate would be 25 and 30-ish if they want to pit early, and then just fill her up. Or they can run the tank dry and they probably get to like 32. Now, if I were in their shoes, for sure I would pit later because then you could have fresher tires for longer on in the race, well, towards the end of the race, and that's probably the most important part of the race. So.
And there goes John Mushton heading for pit road. That grueling 40-mile-an-hour pit road speed is, man.
Oh yeah,
That's awful.
That must suck because they're going about 160 miles per hour down that backstretch, and looks like Sean Butler locked up the brakes a lot coming through turn number 3. But going 160 miles an hour on that straightaway, that's something they should enjoy and cherish, because they're used to going those speeds on other tracks. But slowing down to 40 miles an hour, oh, I don't know. I think it's got to be bad for them because they're like, come on, let's keep going. It feels like an eternity to get down that pit road.
Okay, looks like 4 tires for John Mushton Jr. And he's gone.
Oh, David Howard Jr. is on the back bumper of Scott Brinson now.
Yeah, reeled him up.
He sure did, Rudy.
Scott probably feeling the pressure right now.
No mirror driving now, guys.
It's something you're not going to want to do just because there's so many turns that you got to just keep looking forward and don't look back, and then I think that would actually make you quicker because you're not panicking because there's some guy right behind you.
You're exactly right, Kyle. I do it all the time. I look at I drive mirror driving all the time. When I see somebody, and that's where I make the mistakes. I'm mirror driving, not looking and getting all the points where I go in each turn, where I got to slow down, where I got to hit the brakes. If you're mirror driving, that just totally messes everything up.
Well, guys, we're going to ride along here one lap with Tyler Stanley right in the cockpit.
Okay. Oh, David Howard Jr. just got loose, boy.
So
Saves it.
Here comes Tyler down into turn 1. Sleeper, this is a second gear turn. Up through third gear and down just back to 2. Hard up on the accelerator, about to 160 miles an hour on this straightaway. braking hard into this left-hander. This is a gear 1 turn. It's flat, so it's very difficult to handle through it. This is probably one of the hardest braking zone turns in the whole course. Make another left-hander. This turn is certainly taken in second gear. Another left-hander. Do the long sweeper. This turn. This is probably another tricky turn because you gotta know when to get on the gas and hit that apex right to the right of him, right there, and back on the throttle through the what I call the kink. Only gotta tap the brakes through here. Through the woods, as I call it, because there's just trees surrounding the track, and then into the hard right-hander brake zone right here. This is taken in gear 2. Hard on the accelerator, and a left here. A very quick left. You actually don't think you have as much room to run off there as you really do. And the final turn, gear 2, and up the accelerator, up the hill. This turn's very important because you want to get a good run off the turn so you can get up that hill and have a lot of momentum. And that's a lap around Road America.
Good job, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. That was great. It was awesome, as a matter of fact. I was riding right there with you, man. You explained that just right to the freaking detail. That was awesome.
What I do is from running this track so many times, I know it like the back of my hand.
Well, Brinson with about a 1 second lead over David Howard now.
Well, David Howard Jr. was going to catch him earlier there, but he got up on the back of his bumper there, and he was going to pull like he's going to pull and pass him, and he got loose, and all of a sudden, Brinson pulled away. But David Howard Jr. rolls it back up on his bumper, and we'll see what's going to happen here, Rudy. I think he's waiting for Brinson to make that slip up, but he hasn't made one yet.
No, Scott's been staying pretty steady. I got to give it to him, man. He's really showing some muscle here tonight.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah, keeping it stable is definitely one of the key things you want to, succeed on a road course, is to keep it nice and steady, stable, and not be too aggressive with it.
Kevin O'Brien still hanging on to a top 5 here. And he is 4th in the points, so he's got to maintain that 4th. It looks like he will. Timothy Lewis dropping out. Timothy was 5th in the point. But this is going to be a good chance for Scott Brinson to possibly reel in Timothy Lewis. Brinson is 117 points oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. 31 points behind Timothy Lewis. So he'll be able to close that gap up a little bit.
Right.
Oh, car looks like is slowed somewhere. Do not know who that is. That was like, yeah, Brian Pager went off track a bit. The left-hander before the sweeper got loose, saved it, got in the sand trap. Sand trap just slowed him right down. He's back up running.
Well, I'll tell you, I put it on most exciting, and it stays right here on Scott and David Howard Jr.
I've been watching these cats lap after lap here, Rudy.
It's going to be very interesting because I don't know if either of them made their second pit stop, and that's what they need. So I think it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be strategy on pit road. Either if they're going to take tires or stay out there and get like an extra couple seconds on the guy in front of them. So it's very close.
I think and this late in the last part of this run, you guys, I think I just take 2 sets of tires and be off.
It depends really how the car is doing, because again, if they're having problems being tight, they're definitely going to want to take the rear tires. But I think their best bet just to take all 4 is just to play it safe, because you don't know how loose the 2 tires is going to make it. It's something I haven't tested when I was doing my practicing.
Yeah, 10-4, Kyle.
Brian Phillips with Sean Butler coming up behind him. And looks like he's going to pull over here and let Sean go by. Well, I thought he was. Maybe not. There he goes. Yeah, he did. That's pretty cool. No sense of racing that hard with the leader.
That was awesome of Brian Timbrow. They let those 2 drivers, Brinson and Howard, go by there. Gave them all kinds of room there. Here comes up David Howard Jr. on the back bumper for Scott Brinson again. That's where he lost it last time, but it looks like he made it through that time, that turn.
The only real battle on the track right now is between those 2. And boy, I'll tell you what, by looking at their lap times, they're about evenly matched out there, that's for sure.
They sure are, Rudy. They look like they're just having fun out there. They're not in a rush to go past each other. I mean, it looks like they're just driving right now. I'm just waiting for that slip, Rudy.
Yeah. Well, I'm with Kyle. If they're going to short pit, this is about the time that they would want to do it. And I don't see anybody out there taking advantage of short pitting. I think in a road course race like this here, there's really no advantage to short pitting.
No, it's sure. You might just run your fuel right down to nothing, and then go in the pit and get some fresh fuel and whatever tires you take on these vehicles, man, and get right back out there as quick as you can.
Yeah, short pitting would be a bad idea, because you got to remember these guys came in for tires about 10 laps ago. So when you figure that in, you put that into the equation, and you figure that if they come in I'd say about 18 laps before the end. So I'd be right about now. It would just be, because remember, they would have 18 laps on their set of tires when they finish, versus if someone pitted at when they're out of gas, and they'll only have about 6 laps on their car. So I think it would just end up be better for the end. For just being fast at the end, it would just be to pit late.
Something happened to Kevin O'Brien. I don't see him on the track. He's Kyle, they got 15 to go right now, not 18.
Yeah, 15 to go, Rudy.
Oh, excuse me. That's
Butler with a 20-second lead over Scott Brinson in second place. David Howard Jr. third, Tyler Stanley fourth, Brian Timbrow fifth. Kevin O'Brien is still sixth, but I don't see him on the track anywhere. John Mushton Jr. 7th, Brian Pager 8th, and Brian Phillips 9th.
Brian Phillips just letting Scott and David right by, just letting this battle carry out to the end. It's going to be very interesting. They just got to nail their pit stops at the end, and it's going to be a close battle between these two folks.
Tyler Stanley coming to pit road. This could be his last pit stop of the day.
Hi Stanley, he is coming in a bit early because cars, they burn about a gallon a lap, so he's coming in a bit early. So I don't know. This is going to be very interesting for what he's doing here. You know, this could help him out in the end, but I really don't know at this point because, you know, it's getting really close to the end. Got about 13 or 12 laps to go, and it's going to be a close one between, I think, the second and third place cars.
All right, 4-tire change for Tyler Stanley.
He's away.
Yeah, Kevin O'Brien looks like yeah, he disconnected, so.
He was running really great.
Yeah.
Don't know why he would disconnect. He might be having some internet issues or something else might have popped up. I don't know, but having definitely showing a lot of strength tonight.
Brian Timbrell with the top 5. John Mushin Jr. 6th. Brian Pager 7th, and Brian Phillips in 8th. These are 3rd place in the points. Only 55 points out of 1st.
Up here they go. Here comes David Howard starting to really reel in Scott Brinson. They are really close now. Scott Brinson coming down pit road.
Diving in the pit road. Let's see what he's getting, Kyle. I'll keep on with David Howard Jr. here.
Okay, so Scott coming down pit road, bringing that car down to 45 miles an hour. Brinson in his pit box. Jacking it up on the left side. And he's off, takes 4 tires and fuel, and he is good for the race. Now the question is, when will David Howard come down pit lane to get his final stop?
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to pit this time or maybe next time by. We'll see what happens here.
I don't know, but how Scott dove down that pit lane, I think he took David by surprise.
No, he sure did. Boy, he just dove it into pit roll there. He was following him pretty close there. Oh, David Howard Jr. into the sand pit there.
Off into the sand shot, that's going to slow him down a bit.
He got a little loose coming up out of there too, Kyle.
Yep.
I'm getting a report here, guys, that Kevin DQ'd out.
Oh, okay.
At his 13
incidents. Yep. Well, that's too bad.
That's one of the problems running at these road courses, having these low incident limits, is that, you know, on a track, 14 turns, 13 incidents really isn't a lot. When you think about it, so. I mean, if I were league manager, league owner, I just, my opinion would be, let's just have it, you know, raise it a little bit for road courses just because of the fact of off tracks and stuff.
I wanted to, but I got voted out of that one. It should be raised like, you know, half again as much. Should be like 18.
Here comes David Howard Jr., guys. Sorry, guys. He's coming down pit road now, getting it rolled down to 45 miles an hour.
Now, Eddie, you can keep an eye on David. I'll keep an eye on Scott, because I don't know how close they're going to be when David comes out. But Scott, he's rounding the second last right-hander. He has 3 turns to go before he completes lap, so it's going to be close.
Oh, 10-4 on that there, for sure there, Kyle. Drooling 45 miles an hour down pit road. That David Howard Jr. is rolling down there, getting to that thing into the pit. Let's see how many tires he gets. Maybe just take 2 or off. We'll see what happens.
Got coming up the hill right now. Gonna be close.
Oh, he's going to take all 4, gentlemen.
And
he's off.
got Brinson getting around him. This is gonna be a
Oh.
very close battle between the both of them.
Yeah, now David coming out right behind him is going to have brand spanking new tires, which Brinson's got a couple of laps on his, 1 or 2. Let's see if David can reel in Scott and maybe pass him.
Yep.
Boy, put them cars back in the same order they when Brinson left him on pit road, and David had to come around and go to the next time he pitted. But pretty close. It's gonna be a pretty close battle, guys.
Yeah, and David, he definitely is going to have the upper hand here because he has the newer tires, and believe it or not, just 2 laps, 3 laps on a set of tires makes a heck of a lot of difference, really.
What David needs to do, don't over push the car because you got fresher tires. Make them last for that last run that you need to make.
Yeah, but Scott, Scott's going to be running for his life right here.
As we got still a long ways during this race.
Yeah, we still have 40 miles, believe it or not. Oh, well, even more than that.
Yes, Scott Brinson pitted on lap 27, and David Howard Jr. pitted on lap 28.
Definitely, Rudy.
That's what's cool about the events tab on IRTVO. You can actually see that stuff, right there.
Yeah, Rudy, when I was trying to stream earlier, I was actually having some issues where I turned down the game capture and it wasn't really capturing anything. It's just a blank screen in the preview. So I don't really know if there's something with the new build. The anti-cheat may be interfering with my OBS when I'm running in game capture mode.
Yeah, there is, and I'll get with you after that. After the race here, I can show you.
Yeah, because that's what I figured, because with that anti-cheat, it might... stuff.
Yeah. Well, there is an anti-cheat check mark in that box. If you look, when you go to the properties of the game capture, there's an anti-cheat check mark. Check mark that, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
You might have to restart IRTVO. Shut it completely down after you check mark that and click apply and all that. Then restart IRTVO and it should work.
Oh no, it wasn't RTVO, it was OBS.
Or OBS, I'm not, sorry.
Trying to clarify.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott's staying ahead of David Howard Jr. right now.
He sure is.
Like, Sean Butler definitely does have this race in the bag, unless he has some type of catastrophic failure, like his engine blows, he's downshifting too hard. But he's got 11... or about 10 laps to go, so it's going to be... I think he's going to win the race, folks.
Well, you never say that too early. Things can happen.
Yep. Especially at a road course, that's something this big. I mean, 10 laps, that's 40 miles.
Well, guys, real quick here, next week we go to Phoenix for 100 laps. The week after that, Darlington for 100 laps. Then Kentucky for 100 laps. And then the last race of the season, October 13th, 151 laps at Homestead. That's gonna be a long one.
Oh, it sure is, Rudy.
Now Sean Butler going to be closing in on John Mushton Jr. here, 7th place. Him and Brian Page are in a battle. This is a battle for position on the track right now. 6th and 7th. Those two, we missed that, guys. That's a good battle ensuing. Brian Timbrell still hanging on to 5th. Tyler Stanley 4th. David Howard Jr. closing that gap ever so slightly on Scott Brinson. What do you think, guys? You think he's going to try to get by Scott?
I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, he gets 10 laps to go, coming to 9 to go this time.
I think David's just gonna try and ride, save his tires for that last 14 turns on the last lap.
I think that's what I would do too, Kyle. You know he's got the fresher tires that he does, so as long as you don't burn them up, like I said, you know, you relax, take your time. There's no rush to pass him right now and burn those tires up. Let's wait till the last lap, then hit him hard.
Yep, they got a lot of racing left, so it's just. I just hope Scott, he's not looking in his mirror because he's right on his, because David's right on his bumper.
Back here to Brian Pager and John Mushton. Looks like our leader gets by both of them. Cleanly. Brinson still hanging on 20.5 seconds behind the leader. David Howard Jr. 3rd. Tyler Stanley 4th. Still on the lead lap. Looks like he'll probably stay on the lead lap if all everything goes all right.
Now, Rudy, did you try out the new dynamic tracks yet? I know you were driving the new car, but have you really had any experience racing the marbles yet?
No.
Yeah, I haven't either. I gotta mess with some of that.
No, those marbles out in the high banks of like, you know, Talladega, Daytona, and all that, Kyle. Those super speedways. No, 10-4.
Yeah, I'm running with Scott Brinson's roll bar camera right now. I don't see any marble buildup on the track. It's probably just because there's not that many cars out on the track. It's only 12 cars started. So, I mean...
Well, just so you know, I didn't even turn that stuff on.
Oh, you actually need to turn it on?
No.
Really?
Yeah, it's, you know, the sliders are set to none or whatever. I don't know what you call that. They're clear to the left. What that means, I don't have a clue. I'm not used to this new stuff, the new setup stuff for the servers. So.
I'm guessing it's particles that you gotta adjust in the graph.
David Howard, right there.
Gonna get good, folks.
He's looking for a way to get by Brinson. He's testing the waters right here.
He sure is, Rudy.
He's going to have to drive it in hard in a turn, I think, to try to get a run on Scott.
And they got they have 7 laps left. It's gonna be, I don't think David's not ready to make his big move yet, but when he does, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be very aggressive, just because there's so much pressure. I feel bad for Scott because he's been seeing this guy in his mirror for like the last 5 laps. He's like going crazy. He's like, when is this guy gonna pass me? Probably like.
Or he might be just saying, man, he hasn't passed me yet. I'm just in cruise mode, and he hasn't passed me yet, so... Man, maybe I can just take it easy here and bring home 2nd place.
Yep, and then on the last lap, Scott's going to turn on the flux capacitor, just boom, and then be way in front of him. We just don't know.
I think David was just kind of setting up Scott there. He was testing the waters a little bit. That's what David does. If you watch him, I watch him, each and every week here. And David's one that he'll test it a little bit. He'll see what he's got to do and where's a good place to pass. As you were seeing him right there, closing up on him pretty good. And he's looking for a place to get around him safely, cleanly. He doesn't want to bump Scott or run into him or anything and cause both of them to spin. So he's looking for a clean place to pass him.
Yeah, and it's really extra hard to pass here just because it's so narrow. The track doesn't really widen out either. It's just really, really narrow, unlike, Watkins Glen where you have that super wide front stretch and you can a lot of passes there, the super wide back stretch. Everything's so little and the draft really isn't that big of a factor here. Because you're only at that high speed peak for only a few seconds, so.
And we're looking back on David Howard Jr. from Scott Brinson's car now. And he is just about 0.6 of a second from him. And now David closes right down to within a half a second.
Well, he got a good bite. He got a good bite there, guys.
Waiting to make his move. He's stalking his prey. Ready to pounce on him. Probably on, I'd say, either 3, 2, or 1 to go.
And it looks like John Mushton Jr. has left the server.
Yes, you sure did, Rudy. I think something happened, or he got off the track, or something happened there. I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, he may have DQ'd too.
Yeah.
So Brian Phillips moves into 7th.
Here's some lap traffic up here.
Boy, there it is. There, David Howard Jr. Boy, did he close up on his back door right there.
Brian Page just lets him right by. It's very nice. But David really couldn't capitalize on that and hoping the lapper would slow up Scott so he could have a chance of getting around him. But still, we got about 6 to go, so it's going to be very interesting. Last 20 miles or so.
Coming up the hill.
This track would seem like one of those tracks where it would be fun to run backwards.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
And look at that. Scott tried to run
There
the
it goes.
protective
There
line
he goes.
through-
He's looking on the inside. He's looking on the inside. Howard's looking on the side. Can he hold him right there? He
Ooh.
sure does. Ooh, it's gonna be tight. Boy,
Wow.
Brinson's strong on the outside there.
Man.
But Brinson is going to have the upper hand coming into the turn 3, that really hard left-hander. I think it's going to be a thing of who's going to outbreak each other. And what I was saying is that Howard could get a run on Scott. I'm saying this from a road racer perspective. It's because Scott tried to run the protective line, hold the inside, and then hold the inside through the turn, and he didn't have as much momentum
looking on the inside now. Okay.
as David Howard did, so he couldn't. Howard got just so much more
no
momentum,
room
and
there
Howard
for
goes
him.
off.
Well, I mean, I know these guys. These guys are running really good here. Let's see. Where is John?
Definitely fun to watch.
John, what happened there, brother? John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I had to mute the YouTube. I'm watching that too. I just got you made DQ there, Rudy. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing good, man. It was good to see you back out there on the track tonight.
Yeah, things have been looking up, man. I found me a new job, been working, getting money made, so I'm able to do stuff now that I wasn't able to do before.
Well, we've been watching a heck of a battle here between Scott Brinson and David Howard Jr., man. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys. Kyle's got a really great point what he made earlier, but I tell you, Scott is determined to win, or at least get as good a finish as he can. It's going to be a great race. I don't know, man. Between David and Scott, it's hard to tell who's better at road racing.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think David's kind of backed off a little bit now. Maybe to cool them tires off. I don't know. He may try to make another run, but 5 laps to go, and Scott's thinking, okay, maybe he burned up his tires and I'm okay. But if I know he's saving his tires right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's what it is Dave realizes he still has 5 laps, and even though that doesn't sound like a lot, on a 4-mile track, that's a lot of time. So he's going to cool those tires off a little bit, watch Scott maybe try and figure out where his weak points on the track are, and then probably try and move up and take advantage on one of those spots. I talk a good game, but I suck at road racing.
It sounded good anyways, John.
I watch a lot of ESPN. It's amazing what you can learn on ESPN with their coverage.
Oh, definitely.
Who can name that movie?
Well, it's pretty amazing what you can learn on MaxSpeedTV too.
That's right, my friend. It's I'll tell you what, it's been too long since I was watching you guys broadcast and being a part of it. You know, it's good to see that you guys are still doing such a great job on the broadcast. How you doing tonight, Kyle?
I'm doing great. What about you, John?
Well, I was doing fine until that last bit of grass got my right front tire there.
Again, I was saying it earlier on the broadcast, but you know, especially on these road courses, incident points are so much more easy to get because on regular oval, there's walls and stuff that get a 0x on. But if you even like put a tire off on the grass or in the sand, or sometimes even on the curbing, it's going to give you a 1x.
Yeah, that spot where Scott and them just went through, that's where I got most of them because there's I was swinging out just a little too far just about every time. That's where I got all of my off tracks was right there, but. It's okay though, man. I like the road racing, believe it or not. I really do. It's just, like you said, on ovals, it's different because it's so much harder to get an off-track incident. But this is a great track. This is one of my favorite tracks, actually. I like this track.
Yeah, I do too, John. This is an awesome track. It really is. I'd rather eat this up in Watkins Glen, to be honest with you. And I like Watkins Glen, but like I said, Road America is my favorite track.
Well, how can you not like Road America, Ed, right? It's America.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And how are you doing, Ed? I didn't even see you in here, man, to be honest with you. I'm sorry.
No, that's no worry, buddy. I'm just hanging out, man, in the broadcast room and having fun.
Well, this has been a great race. I had a blast. I really did.
Howard's in the wall. Howard's in the wall. Sorry, John. Howard got loose there, and he bounced that car into the tires there.
Oh.
That was a hard contact.
We're going back to watch this right now. That could have done his day for him right there.
That was a hard lick, Rudy.
Yep.
Yeah, he sounds like he's under power.
Yeah, he just lost it on coming out of turn 1. Just got back in that gas just a little too fast.
Yeah, especially with those older tires. I mean, with those older tires, there's just they can't grip as well, and they just spin, and it gets terrible. That's really does stink for David because he was doing a great job battling for Scott. But on the bright side, it looks like Scott's gonna end up taking second overall.
Yeah, but I think this Butler is he's off in his own zip code tonight, man.
Yeah, as usual.
You guys might have to start giving him a 2-lap handicap there, Rudy.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too, yeah.
Give him a couple 100-pound weight penalty.
He's got to start
Something
on
like
pit road and be 2 laps down right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, it's there's that old saying, some things never change, and it seems like when I left you guys, Butler was just stinking up the show, and I come back and here he is.
Still stinking up the show.
Yeah, tell you what, Sean's a good guy though, man. I love being on track with him. He's one of those guys that will during practice, he'll take the time with you and point out spots where you can get better on track. That's what he did with Scott during practice.
Yeah, I was actually listening in, and Scott had answered or asked him a few questions, and Sean answered them, and it helps you out a lot. If you ask him, Sean will help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to say before David got into the wall, there was me and Brian Trimble, I think his name is. I think we were on the same fuel strategy. We had talked about it pre-race, and we're taking it really, really slow, and we're actually going to be able to do this in one pit stop. Unfortunately, my off tracks kind of nulled that out for me. And it really wasn't to get any better positions. I just hate trying to pit on this track. That pit wall, I don't know if you guys saw in practice, but if you get just a hair too close to it on exit, it will rip the rear end out of your car and flip you over.
Oh, man.
But if you're too far to the left, you get unsafe pit exit penalties. So it's it's kind of a challenge for me. Of course, everything that's not Talladega or Daytona is a challenge for me, but we're not going to talk about that.
Well, Brian Timbrell having a good day out here running in 5th. Brian Phillips does go into 6th place. If Brian Pager's on pit road, it looks like I'm not sure what happened to Brian. He's on pit
Now,
road
John, I have
here.
a question for you. I know you're primarily an oval racer, but that pit road on the right side and pulling far to the pit stalls, like, did that feel like any odd, or like, did it make it any more difficult for you to pit, or did you just kind of go with it?
Well, it wasn't so much the actual pitting itself, but what gets me is we have a rule here. It's a good rule. It's you got to stay to normally the right of pit road as you enter pit road, and try not to drive down the middle or through people's pit stalls, just so there's no incidents on pit road. And on here, with your pit box being on the right-hand side, I got a little confused on my first pit stop, and I even had to ask. I said, "Where am I supposed to be? Am I in the right spot here?" And they're like, "No, but that's okay this time. Just next time stay to the left." But as far as actual pitting, no, because if you stop and think about it, Kyle, Watkins Glen is the same way. It's on the right-hand side of pit road. Oh, Scott got off track again. But so if you've done a few laps at Watkins Glen or Sonoma, you're kind of used to pitting on that right side. And yeah, you're right. I am a mostly oval track guy, but I love road courses, man. I've done some Formula One here and at Watkins Glen. Can't stand Sonoma, but I like Monza too.
Yeah, Monza's a nice track. It's really fun. I mean, but again, I drive a lot of, because I do a lot of the IMSA series, a lot of the Blank Pond GT3s. And when they come here, it's just a completely different ballgame than driving a stock car. It's because they're so much lighter, they're so much more agile, and there's like more technology behind them. They have a lot more downforce too. So they're more.
Yeah, the downforce is beast on those cars, man.
Yeah, they have those huge wings. Especially like the IndyCar, the F1. They have those huge wings. They're just giving it so much downforce, so they can carry like ridiculous amount of speeds through the turns.
Yeah, the first time I took the Formula One around Watkins, I was just shocked at how much downforce there was. I mean, I probably took it a little too easy, but then once I got used to it, I was doing laps like under a minute in a Formula One car at Watkins Glen. I was crazy.
Yeah, but once you start running in the A series, like the Grand Prix series and stuff in iRacing, you're driving at Watkins Glen. You think you are going way too fast, but truthfully, everyone else is so much quicker than you. Just because it's that mentality of driving so many other different types of cars and braking early. But in an F1, you go right up to the 100-meter marker, tap the brake, and you're around the turn. So it's just very different, a different mentality behind it than racing either like a GT car or even a stock car on a road course for that matter.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kyle. I was listening to Scott here. He's being the polite guy that he is, just thanking that driver there for getting out of the way. But yeah, you're right. Those Formula Ones, man, they just got amazing downforce.
Oh yeah.
So Rudy, what do you think? Are we going to include another road course next season? Maybe a third, fourth one?
That's up to Ed. I'm sure he will. I mean, road coursing, it does kind of throw a clinker into the works rather than just oval track all the time.
Yeah.
Well, Sean Butler taking the white flag, so one more lap for him. We got a couple of payouts here tonight, Ed.
I'm sorry, what was that, Rudy?
Ed, I was telling Ed we got a couple of payouts here to a couple of drivers. We'll each win $10. But they had to stay in the server. I'm not sure if they did. I'm trying to check here. Looks like, yes, our other driver did stay in the server. He doesn't have to be in pit stall, but as long as he stays in the server, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah, Brian Wortman's still in here too, and he is about 24 laps down.
Well, these guys know that, they have to be in the server in order to collect that money. If they leave the server, they're not eligible for it. So
I like staying in the server just so I get the entire replay, and I like to, you know me, I like to make little videos and stuff every once in a while.
oh yeah, you make some pretty good ones too.
And it's been a while since I had time to play with it with this new job. I tell you what, it's keeping me a lot busier than I thought it would.
Well, Brinson second, David Howard Jr. third. It looks like it may finish that way, but Sean Butler with just about 3 or 4 turns left here, looking at victory lane.
Comes around the carousel, the sweeper, and then he go through the forest, and only got a few more turns left. So unless something terrible happens, I think he's gonna win this.
Yes, sir. Up the hill, and there it is.
Across the finish line now.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I was actually a little bit behind you guys.
So Sean Butler going to be our winner. Scott
Great
Brinson
job
will
for
be
him.
second. Well, I don't want to call it
he-
yet. He's still got this last turn to go. And there he goes up the hill, and Scott Brinson will finish second. And David Howard Jr. third. So very good. All right, well, we're going to get this thing woed down here a little bit. There is I do have a camera here, and I'm trying to find it. There we go. That's what the one I was looking for.
Now, did Sean Butler lead every single lap?
I believe he did.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
All 40
Wow,
of them.
that's a lot, even including pit stops and stuff. That was just phenomenal driving by him today.
Well, Ed, I'll let you and Kyle interview the drivers. I'll drag them down here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, who do you want, Ed?
It don't matter, man. You can take Sean. I'll take Brinson, and we'll work with the David Howard Jr. after.
Wait, I'm here.
Nice win there, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Good win.
All right,
Time to
Sean.
break that car.
Sean Butler, this is Kyle Stratchars up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Kyle.
Well, congratulations on your win. Most importantly, I see that you led all 40 laps, which is just an amazing feat, especially on a road course. Tell us a little bit about your race tonight.
Well, first of all, this thing was glued to the track here in the first few laps, and I really like this new dynamic track. I mean, it definitely loses some grip, and even though the tires are actually in really good shape, you have to start driving it, and it gets pretty loose and squirrely off the corners every now and then. Kind of surprises you, but it was a fun race, and
Now, I see that. What do you think? What are your feelings on a couple extra road courses for next season? Because that's what we were talking about a bit up here in the booth. Because I mean, it looks like you're pretty good at them. So I'd like to hear your opinion on it.
I like road courses because they're different, and I've never until this season. I enjoy doing them. 4 or 5. Everything. It all sounds good to me. I like doing different tracks instead of doing the same tracks over and over again.
Now, is there anyone else you want to give a thank you or a shout out to?
Give a shout out to Scott Brinson coming home second, and teammate David Howard coming home third. good drive by them. I would love to have been a fly on the wall watching them race there. They were fast, and if I hadn't got out to that early lead, I think they were running the same lap times. And every now and then, I know we're swapping back lap times because they would gain some time, and then I would gain it back. And if they were up there with me, it would have been a blast. But I just got out too far front early, and wasn't meant to be today. But it was a great run tonight, and looking forward to trying this new dynamic track out at Phoenix next week.
Well, you could have fixed that, Sean. You could have just let off the gas and got back there with them and battled it up.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have gone. It would have been interesting to see if I could have run the fast lap times with them right there with me, because I hadn't had to do it in so long. I was just.
It would have been entertaining to watch, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, real quick, I'm gonna duck out. Sean, good win on that. David, great run tonight. Scott, good run for you guys. Rudy, Ed, Kyle, great seeing you guys again. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you bet, John. Talk to you later.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, John.
All right, John. Thanks for talking with us.
Thanks, Kyle.
Hey, Ed, you're up.
Hey, Scott Brinson, you got a copy?
Easy, Ed, my man. What's going on, buddy?
Buddy, you just snuck the show tonight on second place there, battling with David Howard Jr. What a race you guys had. And it's awesome up in the booth, just watching you guys battle after lap after lap after lap. There was 5 to go. Tell us a little bit about your racing tonight with David Howard Jr.
Oh, man, it was intense, dude. It was like I'd pull away from him, and then I'd go down into the next hard, deep braking corner, and I'd screw up, and he'd pull back up on me, and then he'd make a mistake, and I'd pull away. And we did that for I don't know how long, and it was getting intense there. And I saw that he spun just kind of briefly. I was kind of locked in at that point, so I kind of saw it out of the corner of my eye. He spun. And at that point, it was just kind of like a relief. I was finally going to get that second place I've been chasing all year.
10-4 on that, Scott. It was just amazing race watching you two cats go, like I said, lap after lap, and you guys are just like having a good time up there. And I get to hear the respect from David Howard Jr. giving you the room that he does, because David Howard Jr. would not run you over or wreck you for any purpose on the track. He's a really good driver. He was one of our champions here a couple years ago. Great driver. Just the respect both of you have on the track and off the track was just awesome. Like I said, watching you guys, and I just want to congratulate you, Scott, for getting that second spot tonight, and it was just awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I want to thank David, man, for racing clean. I always know Dave's going to race clean, so I wasn't really worried about there being an incident, and I wasn't trying to make an incident whenever me and him were side by side. They was trying to give him plenty enough room. Hopefully, I didn't run him out in the grass in that last corner where he fell back a little bit. But I was trying to give him as much room as I could and still race and try to maintain my position. I didn't just want to give it up. Like I said, I've been chasing that second place all year. Sean Butler's out there, on his own planet, and we're all chasing him every week. So it feels good to get a second place. And congratulations to Sean, and congratulations to David tonight. Awesome racing, guys. And congratulations to everybody else.
Thank you very much for all that info there, Scott. There, we'll catch you on the next track. And like I said, congratulations again. Okay, Rudy, if you want to grab David Howard Jr. or maybe
Sure.
Kyle, you can grab him. Whatever. I think Rudy, you can get this one.
Yeah, I'll take David.
Can I just say hi to a couple people real quick? Just want to say hi to my mom. I say hi to my girlfriend Jamie Lynn, who's watching, and anyone else I know that can do. And
Yeah.
thanks, Rudy.
Okay.
Your mom was in chat here, so
Yeah, I just want to make sure I got my shout outs to Mom and Jamie Lynn and anyone else that might be watching that knows me. Thanks for tuning in.
very cool. All right, David Howard, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, Rudy. I got you.
Well, other than that one mistake that we seen you make and you hit the wall, man, great racing out there. Tell me about the racing that you and Scott were having. We heard his side of it. Let's hear your side.
It was phenomenal. Exactly what I get on this thing for. Just respectful, good, clean racing. Nothing that I didn't expect though. Me and Scott, we've been around each other a lot this year and never even scratched each other's car. So just says a lot about him and the respect he's got. That was phenomenal, man. That's got to be the longest race of the year. I'm sweating. I'm tired. But man, that was awesome until I lost concentration there.
Well, yeah, we watched it. It looked like you were setting him up there a couple of times, and you made it a little bit like you were gonna, like you were taking a look there and kind of testing the waters a little bit to see what it was gonna take to get by him, and then you back off. So, is that exactly what you were doing, or was you really just trying to pass him?
No, man, you nailed it. I try to race people as clean as I can and not run over anybody. So I didn't want to dive it in there and just door him and push him through the grass and pass him. Don't feel good to pass people that way. So you just kind of gotta, with this new model, you never know where you can get somebody. So you gotta poke it in there and see if it'll work, and then next time you'll have more confidence to shove it down in there and know it'll stick, and not wreck the guy. So I was trying to find new passing zones because it seemed like every great passing zone I would get to him, he would be better than me then, but I would be faster than him, in places you're not supposed to pass, my luck. But man, that was phenomenal racing. Got to thank Scott big time.
All right, David. Well, congrats on third. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank you guys first of all doing this. Ran the Thanks Rudy car again, MaxSpeedTV tonight. Glad we got it on the podium. Wish we could have got a win, but thank my wife. She puts up with me in here practicing this mess and spending money on it and everything else. So love you, baby. And then all my fans that watch me. My mother watches me. Got several friends that tune in. So thanks to all those guys.
Well, I kept looking for your mom in chat. I even asked if she was there, and I didn't see her, or she at least didn't say hello tonight. So she usually does. So, but
Yeah,
anyhow,
she may have been having to watch from her phone or something. There's no telling.
that could be. That could be. I didn't think about that. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for talking with us, David, and great race out there tonight. One heck of a show you put on with Scott.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rudy.
All right, guys, we're going to get up here and run down through the results real quick. Sean Butler coming home to win here tonight at Road America. Scott Brinson second. David Howard Jr. finishing third. Tyler Stanley fourth. Brian Timbrell fifth. Brian Phillips sixth. Brian Pager seventh. John Mushin Jr. in eighth. Kevin O'Brien ninth. Brian Wertman 10th. Timothy Lewis 11th. Drew Fathman in 12th. And that rounded out the field. Just a short field tonight. Again, congratulations here to our winner, Sean Butler. And that'll wrap it up for tonight for Maximum Speed Racing. Thanks for watching tonight, folks, on MaxSpeedTV. We appreciate it. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And we will see you tomorrow night for Top Fuel Racing IndyCar style. And I believe they are at Michigan. So we'll be looking forward to that. I think 100 laps, ain't it, Scott?
Yes, sir. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to 2, and hopefully we'll see some of you guys there.
All right. Till then, folks, stay safe and have a good night.